16 or around age 16, that's when I faced my first really big obstacle on the trampoline. So in trampoline, when you learn skills a little too quickly, you can get the movements mixed up and perform them incorrectly. I'm sure many of you listening to this have experienced this. We call it getting lost. And it usually results in an athlete crashing or potentially hurting themselves. So I remember when I was 16, the first thing that I started getting lost on was Rudy outs, which is a double front with a 1.5 twist in the second somersault. And I would get stuck on the Rudy portion and basically not know where I was in the air. I'd throw my arms way out to the side and just do this big sort of Jonah back, Franny kind of thing out with my head looking everywhere, trying to figure out where I was in the air. And that prevented me from doing Rudy outs for about 6 months. And that was a really scary experience. I couldn't do the skill. I got scared, and that experience kind of trickled down into other skills as well. So I ended up losing Rudy, a really basic skill, just a front flip with a 1.5 twist. And I spent many months just doing, front full, falling to my butt, trying to get an extra quarter twist around, like working on these little tiny things to try and, piece these skills back together. And then I also had trouble with half fulls and full fulls, getting stuck on the cruise. So I would end up doing a lot of branny in back outs or full in back outs. And even one day I have this very vivid memory of thinking about double tuck one day when I was riding home from school on the bus and just wondering, like, what do I see on a double tuck? How do I do that safely? And how do I orient myself in the air? And I just couldn't figure it out. And just sitting on the bus, I was getting really scared about going to the gym that night. So this was happening to me a lot. And I was getting really scared and really frustrated. I was crashing a lot in the gym. And even skills that I thought I had mastered, like Rudies and double backs, became really difficult for me. And I started thinking, what if I get hurt? What if I can't train? What if I'm not able to walk out of the gym one day? What if I get hurt really badly? And it got so bad that I even considered quitting at one point. But I knew that I loved the sport, and I knew I didn't want to give up easily. So I was willing to work hard to overcome this obstacle and sort of chip away at sort of this problem and try to get over the fear. So my coach, Dave Ross, obviously helped me a lot with this. And we went back to basics. And, I think that's the best thing we can do when we're in a situation like this, is go back to builders and progressions and really focus on spotting the beds so that you are comfortable with where you are in the air and better understand every little step. And I was only told this a couple of years ago, but I bumped into an Australian coach who, we've known each other for a long time. He summed up this problem, or the solution to this problem, really, really well. And he said that there are no such thing as big problems. There's only small problems that compound over time. So if you can go back and fix the small problems, then you can solve the big ones. And that's exactly what Dave and I did. We sort of went back to the basics. We focused on our progressions. Like I mentioned before, for Rudy's, we did a lot of front full, jump half turns, front full, try to squeak a little extra twist around. And we did these builders for months, it felt like forever. And it was really a frustrating process. But, eventually over time, I got more comfortable with the simple skills, which made me a little bit more comfortable with the more difficult skills. Eventually, figuring out how to do my Rudy again, feeling really good about that, figuring out how to do a double back again, feeling really good about that, and sort of building up those skills again helped me build up the confidence. And, it took about 6 months, but I finally relearned all of the skills that I had lost. And as a reward for all of that hard work, my competition results started to improve again. I was able to compete appropriate DD for my level. And I started competing at the senior national level. And at the sort of end of age 16, close to age 17, I had made the senior national team as